landlords are finally taking a win for once. Now, let me give you that backstory. So back in mid-2010s, David Cameron came into power with the Conservatives. He told local councils, there's no additional money. If you need to raise money, you're not going to get it from central government. Use whatever means you can to raise money for local councils using the current rules and regulations in place. So what they actually did was looked at council tax. HMOs and HMO landlords were an easy target. HMOs, if there are over 4 people living in a property, they typically have to be licensed and there's an open register for them. Now, majority of councils just went through, informed VOA, look, we've got 5, 6 rooms here, but they need to be rebanded as room 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you've got actual studio council taxes on HMO rooms. So this actually had a massive impact for HMO landlords, including ourselves. Let me explain. Typically, a HMO council tax for us would have been either between £1,500 to £2,000 per calendar year. By rebranding it as a studio flat, our HMOs were valued at £1,000 per calendar year. Now times 6, we're at £6,000. So from going from £1,500 to £6,000 means landlords were £4,500 worse off. Majority of the landlords, what they did was actually pass that cost on to their tenants. This basically made HMOs less affordable. It took a little bit of desirability off for investors as well, and it brought a lot of uncertainty whether your HMO was going to get banded or not. Now, following a campaign to reform HMO council tax, national government listened. Last month, national government confirmed they're going to remove individual banding of rooms and there will only be one single council tax for a HMO. Now, everyone's talking about HMO banding being removed, but no one showed how you can actually go through and do it. On the 1st of December 2023, national government has actually announced how they intend to remove individual banding on HMOs. Now, there's a website, we'll put the link down below, but effectively, they're gonna look at licensed and unlicensed HMOs. So if your HMO is licensed, they'll actually be contacting local councils and telling them to put a single band on this. Local councils or the VOA should actually get in touch with you with a notice of alteration. Now, if they don't get in touch with you, we'll run through shortly on what you can actually do to inform the council that your property should be singly banded. Now, if your property is an unlicensed HMO, so typically unlicensed HMOs are up to 4 people living in a property, you will actually need to fill in a proposal form and inform the local council that your property should be singly banded. Now let's run through that form. Now the first thing you need to do is go to this website that you can see on the screen. So it's www.gov.uk/guidance/houses in multiple occupation and then followed by HMOs. So if you see on the screen, it's actually the guidance on the recent changes on how HMOs should be valued for council tax in England. You'll see that it's actually broken into 2 sections, licensed HMOs and unlicensed HMOs. If you're a licensed HMO, then you should receive a notice of alteration by March 2024. If you haven't, then what you'll need to do is submit a proposal form to your local council to inform them that your banding needs to be brought in line with the new legislation. Now, the form is actually quite straightforward. You just click on the link. You'll find that there's a form that you can just download. It's a PDF, so you'll see here. Now, the form is actually very straightforward. So what you want to do is either print this off or you can fill it in online. And then you'll need, once it's complete, you'll need to send it to this inbox, like just here, which goes basically to the VOA, or you can print this off and send it to the valuation office in Durham, and the address details are just there. So how it's broken down is you've got part A, you've got to give the address of the building. The next part is you need to provide part B, details of your HMO. So it's going to ask you, do you think your valuation should be listed as a single entry? Here you'll click A. For whatever other reason, if you wanted to keep it in multiple or less than multiple, you'll click in B. And then you need to give your reasons for it. So you'll probably need to inform the council that this is a HMO, it has sharing facilities, and you should list what the sharing facilities should be. In terms of the banding, you'll put in here what your band should be. Bands actually go from band A, which is typically like a studio, then you got a B, which will be 1 to 2 beds, and all the way up to the larger houses of F. So if you're unsure on what the banding for your HMO should be, have a look at similar properties on your road. You can actually do this by searching the VOA register for banding. So if your property is number 43 and you have a look at number 45, it should be around that banding group. So you'll stick that in there and go on to Part C. Part C is where you actually give details of who you are, the person making that proposal. So you'll either be, the occupier, the owner, or the occupier. You put your details in here, and then you go on to Part D. So you need to inform the council whether you're licensed or unlicensed HMO. Now, this section 257 HMO relates to sort of purpose-built buildings, and these may be excluded. Then you'll need to inform them, is it a student block or not, yes or no, house, bungalow, and then you give the description of the building here. If it's a flat, you run through basically the same description, inform them what it is, and if those details aren't on either this column or this column, you'll go to other and put in that relevant information there. You'll need to now inform them how many rooms are in the building in terms of reception rooms, how many bedrooms, how many shared bathrooms, how many bedrooms are without their own bathroom, and the number of shared kitchens, etc. Most of these details are quite similar to how your HMO applications would have been, so the majority of you guys will be quite familiar with this. Now, Part D is you continue to give some more information about the building. Have the tenants got their own access to shared facilities? So to actually get that singular banding, typically they will need to have access to shared facilities, so you'll click yes here, and then you'll need to inform them, do all tenants have access to shared facilities? And typically you'll be yes. If it's no, where maybe one of the rooms is self-contained, you'll probably need to explain that there. Now, if the property has a garage, then you just need to inform them whether it's a single or not. If there's no garage but you have parking facilities, again, you just need to break this down here and inform them whether you have cycle storage, whether there's parking, and if that's permanent. This one's strange, but it's asking whether there's a conservatory or not. And again, you need to put the details in, yes or no. And then if it is a yes, you need to break it down what type of conservatory it is. In terms of outbuildings, this will be maybe something at the rear of your garden, like storage, or it could be even like a home gym, etc. Again, you'll need to give details. And if it is a yes, you'll need to break down what it actually is. Central heating, yes or no. So some properties are all run on electric with electric heating, so that will be a no. And then finally, you just now need to give details about any other facilities within the property, such as a swimming pool or a shared gym or anything else that you feel is relevant to the application. Fill that in, then you can either print to PDF, so you save all the details in there, or you actually physically print this out. Depending on whether you're going to email it, the details basically are right at the top of the form, just right here. Or if you're going to be posting this off, then you send it to the VOA office in Durham and the details are there. Now, this is quite important to do because the reason they're aiming for the end of March is they want the council taxes to be correct from the 1st of April 2024 going forward. Now, so keep on top of this and ensure that if you haven't received that notice of alteration, that you basically complete this form, inform the council of your intentions to change this to a singly banded property. So that's basically it with HMO council tax banding. Hopefully this will be the end of that saga. Now HMOs will be a lot more popular, more in vogue, and a lot more attractive to both tenants and investors. We'll keep you posted if any other changes come about. Okay, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.